Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for Ethereum, Solana and injective price prediction based on Elliott Wave analysis. We're gonna start with Ethereum from the daily to the 15-minute chart, of course, for the micro level to see what we might expect today. And we'll see, of course, if we are really looking still for higher prices to unfold for the altcoins. So basically, we have in this all-time history a potential 1-2 here and a potential another wave 1-2, where your wave 1 is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have a very long sideways corrective wave in W, X, and a Y here. And of course, the wave Y is kind of like an expanding, a flat finishing up there and starting to push for higher here in double 1-2. Currently, we are in still, of course, in a formation of double 1-2 in case, of course, we push for higher here because we are in a 1-2 and then 1-2 and wave 3 to unfold toward the upside. The wave 3 is, of course, in the micro level double 1-2s. This is the highest possibility right now. Another high possibility as well is a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here as a leading diagonal unfolding toward the upside. In this case, I would prefer even to take this, can be also as zigzags, in case we are in a zigzag also here for Ethereum and you're looking for something for higher. This cannot be something impulsive at all. Of course, in this case, everything is overlapping, meaning still, of course, a very long correction here, which is a complex structure. And, you know, it is allowed only one complex structure in a diagonal where you might have a zigzag in the wave 2. So the wave 4 is allowed to be a complex structure. But yeah, I don't really like it as a diagonal. But however, if the wave 5 is still unfolding here as a potential zigzag, well, guys, it can be done and finished, yeah, as a very small zigzag because you took the high, and that means, of course, yeah, very possible in this case only that you might have finished the diagonal over there, which is very rare. I don't really see it so much, but yeah, I see, of course, still a wave 3 to unfold as highest possibility here in several 1-2s, because if you have really finished here a leading diagonal, you might, of course, push for lower. And pushing for lower meaning, of course, as a 1-2, which is, yeah, very low for Ethereum to talk about. So not yet, guys. For another possibility, which is even can be very low as well, is a finished impulse there for wave 1 or wave A. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, big 1 and big A, and you're looking for a very big ABC. Probably here might still be unfolding your WX over there, and you're looking for a wave Y to be still finishing around the 1-to-1 fib level here as the 3 ways down, 3 ways up, and you push down. But this is an $800 for Ethereum, guys. So if this is gonna happen, well, that is, of course, a very horrible bear market then. And especially after a very long sideways, I doubted that this is gonna happen to take the low again. We already paid a lot in time here, and we didn't saw a new highs for a very, very long time, for a whole cycle, by the way, yeah, for Ethereum. And that means, of course, it is a new cycle here. It is time, of course, to push for higher and to see, of course, higher prices. So therefore, I tend on the macro level, of course, to be looking for higher prices and no invalidation, because once you get invalidation here for those double 1-2, well, okay, there is a very high possibility that yes, we might drop down, okay, or it can be still like kind of like A, B, C, D, E, very boring triangle for a long time, and then to push for higher again, which is, of course, an A, B, and a C. The wave B is a triangle. So yeah, it's not, of course, looking a perfect market in this case, if this is what it's gonna do. Now, we still, of course, have the chances, guys, of course, to push for higher in several 1-2. So let's dive inside it to see if this is going still to happen for Ethereum there. So for Ethereum on the 4 hours chart, guys, we're looking here for those double 1-2 that we saw in the daily. Now we see them, of course, closer as a 1-2, 1-2, and we're looking for something to unfold toward the upside. Obviously, that those are impulses, of course, and you have another impulse here as well for wave 2. And obviously, that because of the 3 waves here after the high taken Three waves. It is very clear for me that this is a corrective wave, whatever it is unfolding there. Especially after three waves for wave A, wave B, and you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for another wave. See that it is finished and done over there within the low, where you might have finished a wave 2 as we have expected. Yeah. Now, the scenario here that it might still seeking for lower is a potential wave 5 and an extension, right? Still extending something here in this correction. And don't forget that you are in the perfect fib levels for a wave 2. So you are in between the 0.618 and the 0.786 perfection here. And we start to see something for higher. So is this something for higher? Of course, it can be ABC. So let us be honest as well. Let us be also strict and disciplined with it. Of course, it can be an ABC, okay? Because we hit perfectly the one-to-one fib level taken from the A to the B to the C. I'm going to enter inside it, but I still need to explain that if this is an ABC, meaning you still can be in a potential scenario here of something as a wave 1, 2, 3, because this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, wave 3 in the magenta, and you're looking at a wave 4 and a 5. Because the invalidation for such an impulse, in case it is unfolding, wave 3, 4, and a 5, the wave 4 has to be invalidated at 3,696. Now, if I dive inside it to see if really this is a finished ABC there, A, B, and a C, one-to-one fib level perfect hit, we cannot, of course, deny this, especially that after looking today at the price in the major crypto market, I see some altcoins really dive deeper even. And most of them reached already the 0.38, but not for Ethereum, which is showing strength here. But most of the altcoins reach the 0.38, which it tends to be wave 2 there. Therefore, I dive deeper, of course, in this impulse, and I start to label this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here to finish simply an impulse. Wave 1 or a wave A. Okay, but very doubtful that it is a wave C. Actually, it is a wave C for Ethereum here. ABC. Okay, so therefore, for the bearish, it is a finished ABC. If we are bearish and we're looking for lower, this is a finished ABC. However, to continue for lower, of course, you need impulses. Now, how you count this? Well, very likely 3 ways down and 3 ways up, right? Which is still corrective for me. Now, if you want to count this as double 1, 2, of course you can, but it's very unlikely. Why? Because if we are in a 1, 2 here, another 1, 2, well, this wave 1, if it is, of course, something as diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, can be, and then wave 2, and then another 1, 2 here. Now, currently, you are unfolding another 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. However, because of the 1-to-1 fib level here already taken, it looks for me like a zigzag, okay, as a wave A. Wave B and potentially wave C still unfolding there. So what I prefer here, before calling anything bearish to unfold for lower, in case that this is an impulse finished wave C, yeah, that means, of course, you want to break these levels, okay? So I want to see a broken 1-to-1 fib level there, to see a wave 3. Okay, if we see a wave 3, then okay, the things are going here a little bit, much more towards the bearish. Okay, now if you are still bullish, of course, you still can count this as a leading diagonal, ABC wave 2, and you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another wave 1, and you're looking for a wave 2. Preferably the wave 2 hits the 1-to-1 fib level in confluence with 0.38 here, and then we push toward the upside continuously. Therefore, the reaction is very required, of course, around the 1-to-1 fib level. Now, of course, there is also another possibility, which I doubt it honestly, which is, of course, a triangle, A, B, C, D, and an E. Very likely that, okay, we might be in something deeper, looking for the 1-to-1 fib level, and then pushing for higher in case we are bullish. But if we break it, that is a red flag. Okay, that is a red flag there. Broken fib levels here 1-to-1, and also the blue box well, that doesn't look good for bullish. Okay, of course, it can be a deeper wave too, and then pushing higher or something as a leading diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, but preferably to see something from there, guys. Now, if I go to also KGT indicator here, we can see as well that a new signal has been given there for the bullish. We see higher prices, but it is not something impulsive. It is three waves, meaning we still something corrective there. So therefore, yeah, the things are going in a good strength for the bulls somehow, where you see, of course, signals for bullish, and you see higher prices, and we see the CVD line coming back in divergence here within the price, which is good, but it might still need some lower prices, meaning to make the signal stronger, we might still require, of course, lower prices. So one more low probably, and then pushing for higher, well, can be, guys, okay, which is the one more low there. This is my my view for Ethereum. Let's move for Solana. For Solana as well on the daily, guys, I'm gonna also explain a little bit what's going on. It's gonna be a little bit longer video, but yeah, we need, of course, to make a little bit deeper analysis there. So for Solana, we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave A or a wave 1, wave B or a wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, another wave 1. You might require wave 2. If this is the case for Solana, that we are in this A, B, and a C, 1-to-1 fib level at $75, and in confluence with the 0.38 might still require there. Then pushing for higher in a wave 5 probably, okay? Or of course, yeah, wave 5 of diagonal, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as well. Or a wave 3 in double 1, 2. But you still need the wave 4 in diagonal to push for a wave 5. And you still need the wave 2 in 1, 2 as a 3 waves to push for higher. Also, you still need the ABC zigzag as a wave A here. You need the wave B as the 3 waves down. Now, only one possibility that it still can bring you for higher. Now, all what we mentioned before was, of course, a finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But only one possibility that it can still push for higher without reaching this target is the wave 4 unfinished, finished there, and unfinished wave 5. And that means, of course, it is an extension as an expanding flat here, wave 4, and you're looking here at something as diagonal internally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're looking at a wave 2 and 3, 4, and a 5. This is the only thing. Currently, we are exactly in the level where we would like to see a signal of strength. If this doesn't show up and continue, because it showed up, but we need continuation. If we don't continue, then okay, we are back, of course, to this potential scenario over there. If we dive deeper on the 2 hours chart, or let's say 4 hours chart for Solana, this is the diagonal that I'm talking about, of course, on the daily. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Finished wave 1. Currently, you got after it kind of like 3 waves, which can also be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and a wave 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. So this is a very, very bearish, especially right now that we saw, of course, an ABC probably hitting perfectly the 1-to-1 fib level, and we see a strong reaction, A, B, and a C. We see a strong reaction toward the downside. So this is very likely, yes, that it can be still, of course, something bearish unfolding there for a wave 4 in the blue count here, and looking for a wave 5 in a deeper, of course, ABC. Okay, so very, very possible as well, guys. It is a possibility there, especially after looking today at this weakness. Yeah, so and especially, of course, hitting the perfect target 1-to-1 fib level taken from the A to the B to the C. Okay, now currently, in case that we are still in a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 1 leading diagonal ABC expanding flat wave 2, you're looking for another wave 1, wave 2 again, and then pushing for higher. Now, the signal or the key levels for this scenario to push still for higher in a wave 2 is over there. 132 which is very close to the perfect target 0.618 for a wave 2 in a potential A, B, and a C 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that means, yes, Solana might dive deeper for a 1-to-1 fib level, A, B, and a C, and hit this area and then probably find some strength to push for higher. On the 50-minute chart, we can see clearly that this is also impulsive somehow, or it can be, of course, an ending diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, or something 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 as an impulse. So, yeah, what is, of course, interesting that it might still looking as a correction is your ABC there. 3 ways after the high. So, because, of course, you have kind of like here, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, leading diagonal, A, B, and a C. Finishing through it. But don't forget that this can be also double 1-2s. And if this is gonna transform to something impulsive, breaking the 1-to-1 fib level, okay, bye-bye for the bullish, right? So this is exactly what we're looking for. Also on the KGT for Solana, we have, of course, a bullish signal, which it show a little bit of strength here. Still, of course, in divergence there. But, of course, after the last signal, we still lack of divergence. Meaning, probably the price is going for lower, bringing the CVD line lower than the signal, but preferably that the price doesn't take the low. If this happens, we push for lower, and we get, of course, a lower signal here, divergence, we might push, of course, for the wave 2 that we are looking at here. By all means, I would like to see the CVD lines making divergence, and of course, the price making there a potential low, hitting, of course, a new signal and pushing for higher there. Yep, so this is exactly what I would like to see as well. All right, so that was it for Solana. Now, finally, we have Injective. For Injective, also on the all-time history, we are looking for several 1-2s. So we have 1-2, 1-2, and wave 3 probably unfolding toward the upside. Currently, of course, you can consider that this is unfinished structure because you have 3 waves. A, you have wave B. You might still looking for something very sideways here in WX and Y as well, or of course diagonal in a wave C. Now also it can be a WX and a Y. Your wave Y can be an ABC, something like this, okay, like an A, B, and a C. Meaning we can push for higher and then getting a wave C later on. So in case also that this is a finished directly structured very fast bear market and you're looking here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, can be as well, right? Can be as well. Don't forget you can be, of course, in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leading diagonal, or a wave A, wave B, and then you push for higher, or you are in double 1, 2 here and you push for higher. Now let's dive inside it, of course, on the 4 hours chart. So for Injective, I'm looking as well, of course, at a potential finished impulse. 1, 2, 1, 2, wave 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5. Now, if something else is gonna be here, potentially can be a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Your wave 5 is a full ending diagonal, and you're still looking for a 4 and a 5. But what is interesting in Injective is something much more nicer than this. Why? Because this is your low. You took the low there and you push impulsive. Meaning, currently that's true, yes, we're diving deeper, opening much higher possibility for a wave 2. But don't forget, after double 1, 2, potential 3, 4, 5, 4, and a 5 here, I'm gonna, of course, dive a little bit inside. You can see, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 ending diagonal, and then another correction and another ending diagonal wave 5. Right? So we have a potential finished impulse there as a potential at least wave A. And that because, of course, we took the low. Again, once you take the low there, of course, it can be that you are unfolding something for higher as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or ABC. Now, okay, that is a possibility of 3 ways down, 3 ways up, 3 ways down, expanding flat wave B. And you're pushing for higher wave C, but you didn't took the high yet. Which turns it, of course, into running flat, and you push down in case bearish. But I still doubt it. Okay? currently on the 15-minute chart as well. For a wave 2, you are looking here at the 0.38, which is of course perfect fib level for a wave 2. Now you have an A, B, and a C potentially unfolding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we take here the confluence as a potential wave A there, and your wave B, very fast wave B, well, it can be the 1 to 1 fib level in confluence in this blue box, guys. So yeah, I would say that also injective giving higher possibility to push for higher, but yeah, maybe a little bit lower still required here, ABC, and then pushing for higher probably sooner or later. Now, of course, if we are bearish and really running flat, which is very rare case normally, this can be 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1, 2 again, and then dropping down. Meaning, if you get the wave 3 unfolding, breaking the 1 to 1 fib level, wow, okay, this is a signal, right? This is the red flag again. Alright guys, so that was it for Ethereum Solana Injective. I hope that was informative. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments. See you in the next one. Bye bye.